Hi there, we've got our trusty 1921 Model 2 Zonophone spring driven gramophone here, and I'm going to just show you quite briefly one or two of the early electrical pickups that started to come in the UK 1927 so that you could play records electrically. Here's an assemblage of early electrical add-on pickups that could be put with a spring driven gramophone, and we've got a website that illustrates some of these close up. I'll put the link in the notes. Well, in September 1927, the Gramophone magazine, which was the chief magazine of such things in the UK, actually reviewed 3 of the electric pickups that had recently come on the market for attachment to spring driven gramophones, and one of them was made by the famous company S.G. Brown that made telegraph instruments and relays, and we've actually got one of those. It's an add-on unit. Then they then mentioned the Phonovox. We've got one of those too, which was made by another famous company called Igranic, and that cost just under £2, which was quite a lot of money in those days. But the star of the show in many ways was one designed by a chap called J.B. Woodruff and patented by him in 1927. And that had been adopted for use by the BBC, so they must have, tested them and thought this one was pretty good. And we have one of those too, and this is the one you're going to hear in a few minutes. I mean, it would be great to reenact a comparison of those 3 which were reviewed in this article, but although they all 3 work, only the Woodruff is in good shape. The others are all the rubber suspension and damping is completely either disintegrated or gone rock hard, so they wouldn't work. Okay, here's our acoustic gramophone with the sound box on it, which we first remove, put on one side, then we fit the new electrical pickup we're going to use. Let's have a closer look at the pickup. Here's the needle, which goes into an armature, which is here, and is pivoted here, and it's adjustable, the pivoting. There's no damping, it's a mechanical pivot, and that can be adjusted by means of this nut and this knurled screw to move it nearer or further away from the magnet coils which are here. But of course all mechanical systems have a resonant frequency, and a little armature, so we've just seen, would have a fairly high one, just several hundred hertz, right in the middle of what we're trying to listen to. So the armature must be damped, and we'll just look and see how the damping is done on this Woodruff pickup. Now we're looking at the other side of the pickup. As you see, there's the armature and the pivot, the adjustable pivot and the coils, and here wrapped around these 2 brass pillars is a strap of orange rubber, and although you can't see it because it's behind these yellow wires, the top of the armature is actually screwed into the middle of this rubber strip. Therefore that provides, it's quite a massive strip of rubber, and it provides damping so that we won't get any disagreeable resonances. Well, we're pretty well ready to go, but just before, I'd like to show you this close up because it doesn't have a case. The mechanism is entirely exposed, so they've made it look really nice by nickel plating the magnet and the support, and it really is, I think, a very pretty, well, you know what I mean, it's a nice thing. Well, the record we're going to play on it is contemporary. This record was made in 1927. It's by the Piccadilly Revels Band that played at the Piccadilly Hotel in London. They've got a trumpet and a trombone added. They didn't have that when they played in the hotel. We've made sure it runs at 80 RPM. I'll just put a few turns on the springs. That should get us through it, and should run up to 80. And off we go.
Muddy water round my feet, muddy water in the street, just God's own shelter, right down there on the delta. Muddy water in my shoes, rocking to those low-down blues. They live in ease and comfort down there, I declare. Been away a year today to wander and roam. I don't care, it's muddy there, but still it's my home. Got my shoes turned Dixie way, on that delta let me lay. My heart cries out